Shannon Liz Riordan, I got that right. Riordan? I don't know. Well, anyway, the lady who screwed all the drivers with those Uber and Lyft lawsuits, she's running for Congress now. And before we totally rip into this woman, let's have a word from our sponsors. Times are changing for gig workers and the gig economy, and there are a lot more gigs from a lot more companies than there used to be. That's why when people ask me where they can go to find resources for the gig economy, I recommend gigworker.com. At this site, you can see what other gig workers are doing and discover better opportunities from industries, companies, resources, and even a forum where you can talk with other people in the gig economy. Gigworker.com is a great resource site whether you work for Uber, Lyft, Postmates, DoorDash, TaxRabbit, Thumbtack, Upwork, whatever. There's a gig for you and there's a forum for you on gigworker.com. Gigworker.com for all your gigs. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and not gonna lie, this one might be a little heated, for lack of a better word. So, Shannon Liz Riordan, I'm never sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but I have spoken extensively about what I consider to be a con artist on this channel. This is a woman who owns a couple of restaurants. They don't really make money, which is fine. I mean, as a lawyer, she could probably use a few losses on the books for tax purposes, who has repeatedly sued Uber and Lyft to get employment classification changed on rideshare drivers. Rideshare drivers were unhappy with being classified as employees, and they hired her to do a class action lawsuit to sue Uber and Lyft and get those things changed. What she did 3 times now is, instead of actually aiming to change things, she settled with Uber and Lyft. Typically for far less money than she should have, because the amount of money that she settled for would not even come close to covering the costs or retribution that the drivers were seeking. Now, she did this first with Lyft, and I think she settled for like $20 million or something, which after you split up all the money, that's like a few $100s per driver. Not even comes close to what it cost to get into this or anything like that. Then she settled with Uber for like, I think $100 million, something like that, which was still way too low. The judge rejected that settlement, claiming it was too low. Well, Uber settled again on that one, and it was like $60 million. It was a lot lower than what it was the first time. So not only were you getting screwed the first time, you got screwed the second time. Now, people have always asked in these cases, why on earth would she settle for these paltry sums of money if it wasn't going to help the very clients she was supposed to serve? And here's the reason why, and this is why I tell people that class action lawsuits are really not effective and you don't want to do them if possible. And that is that the lawyer gets 30 to 40% of the bill, of whatever the settlement is. She gets to keep 30 to 40%, and then it's divvied up between the rest of the claimants. So lawyers in class action lawsuits are incentivized personally to settle, because even if it's a low amount of money for all the clients, it's a large amount of money for them. That is why I think this woman is a con artist. She said she would represent the drivers, and she betrayed them like every other lawyer. However, it seems like she was just practicing, because those character traits might serve her well for Congress, specifically U.S. Senate. And this is from Biz Women, which is obviously a business website about women and their accomplishments. Nothing against that, by the way. It's just, I think they're the ones who broke the story. So it says, attorney Shannon Liz Riordan, a Democrat who had been considering a primary challenge against U.S. Senator Ed Markey in 2020, is now officially in the race. Quote, I have spent the last 20 years as a workers' rights attorney fighting alongside those who have been taken advantage of by their employers. Sorry. I just, like, boy, allergies or something. The cases I have fought for tipped workers, employees misclassified as independent contractors, allergies, and low-wage workers have made me realize just how much the rich and powerful have reshaped our country to benefit them. They have been writing the rules for too long. We need to make a change. Now, I don't disagree with this statement. I actually agree with it, But I don't think she's the one who should be saying this. Because while she's saying, oh, I've been working for workers' rights, I see firsthand that things are corrupt. I would add, you want to know how I know they're corrupt? Because I made pathetic settlements for my own personal gain while my clients got pittance. They got peanuts. That's what should be added on to this paragraph. Liz Riordan first filed with the Federal Elections Commission to create a campaign committee on April 19th, but had yet to formally launch a bid. A labor attorney, she has represented drivers in a class action lawsuit against Uber and, according to her campaign website, brought cases that forced policy changes at Starbucks and FedEx, Harvard University, and American Airlines. Well, great if you were able to change policy. You didn't change the policies for us, though. You did not change the policy for Uber and Lyft drivers. Maybe Postmates as well. I don't know if she was involved in a Postmates lawsuit, which is funny because those were the companies that mattered the most. We had a new form of employment, a new way of making money, and new ways that people are getting paid off. You needed to really look at these companies and, take them to court and have the court say, this is okay, this is not okay, this is how it should be done, and you didn't do that. You just settled, and now we're still fighting them. Anyway, a Malden, Massachusetts Democrat who had served in Congress since 1976, Markey won his Senate seat in a 2013 special election that featured a primary battle against fellow U.S. Representative Stephen Lynch, where Markey took in about 57% of the vote. Markey then beat Republican Gabriel Gomez 55-45. Markey did not face a primary challenge in 2014 and defeated Republican Brian Herr with 62% of the vote in the general election. Markey had more than $3.5 million in his campaign account at the end of March. Liz Riordan is a graduate of Harvard Law School and Harvard College, and in 2009 co-founded the firm Leighton and Liz Riordan. She lives in Brooklyn with her husband and their 3 children. She says, this country is stuck because of the cycle of Washington politics. Washington needs a fresh voice willing to break that cycle. This election, the people of Massachusetts will have a choice. Maintain the status quo in Washington and stay in the endless cycle, or vote for me and break it. Granted, I'm not in Massachusetts. I can't vote on this election, in all fairness. But no, if I were in that state, I would absolutely not vote for you because your record speaks for itself. Shannon, I'm one of the people you were supposed to be representing. I took part in all of your class action lawsuits that I was aware of, that I was eligible to join. And I can say unquestionably, you failed me in all 3 of those. It's really 2, maybe 3. I forget how many she represented. The problem is she represented so many class action lawsuits for gig economy workers and settled so quickly that she set back our ability to get rights in this by I don't know how many years. All she did was she used us as ways to get big paychecks. By the way, what was his name? Markey. Yeah, Markey. If you are running against her, like if you are seeking election, feel free to use this video in your ads. I will gladly say to the world on a public stage, this woman, in my opinion, is a con artist. She's a con artist. She does not care about your rights. Now, I'm not going to go right out and say who you should vote for. I believe that whoever you vote for should be a personal choice, and if you vote for that person, you probably had good reason to vote for that person and not the other person. I am just saying, from my experience with this woman, she does not represent what she claims. She claims to fight for the drivers. That's not true. She fought for the drivers long enough to get a huge paycheck. She says she wants things to change. Why did she settle? Why didn't she fight for the change when she was on the verge of taking them to court? She didn't. She bended the knee to Uber, Lyft, Postmates, DoorDash, whoever she took to court. She bended the knee, and she bended fast. I remember when she settled with Lyft, and optimistically at the time we thought to ourselves, well, maybe she's just trying to focus her energies on Uber. Maybe Uber's the big fish, since Uber was the one making the rules at the time. And nope, settled with Uber, settled quickly, settled for very little. And then what's worse, the judge, who saw through this con, by the way, and said, nope, not enough. They're coming back. It's even less. Yeah, I can't vote for you anyway, Shannon, but if I could, it would have been an honor to vote against you. Sorry. Allergies. Anyway, that's where we're going to leave this right now. So what do you folks think? Are any of you going to vote for this person? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even so, $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, if gas prices are getting you down, check out the Get Upside app below. It's totally free, and you get cash back on every gas purchase. Why don't you subscribe to the Apptrepreneur vlogs? We're almost at 200 subscribers, and new content is coming soon. And if you want to talk to me or other fellow drivers, check us out at the Apptrepreneur Hangouts on Facebook. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.